Okay, CIS 1103, week 8. We'll continue with the TCP IP model. Today we will talk about a new layer, layer 2. Okay. We will talk about the TCP IP model, as I mentioned. Okay. Here we have these TCP IP model layers: application, transport, internet, and the function of each layer, please. Last time we learned about OSI layer in the previous lecture. The network access layer controls the hardware devices and the media that makes up the network. Okay, for some books, listen to me please. Some books call TCP IP 5 layers. Some books call it 4 layers. So for your course, it is 4 layers. For my telecom course, it is 5 layers according to the book. There is no really fixed number for the TCP IP layers. But OSI, everywhere is 7 layers. Okay? Okay, the first top layers, we call them application. They are combined into application. Transport is transport. Network is called internet. Data link and physical is called network access. Okay? The network access layer and the application layer of the TCP/IP model are further divided in the OSI model. That's we already have studied that. Access layer. Access layer devices provide access to so host can join a wired or wireless network. Give me an example. Switch. Here we have a switch. Each host connect to an access layer network device such as a switch. A switch builds a MAC address table. Okay? A switch uses the MAC address table to send message to a specific port. We talked about this last time. How is the packet traveling, or how is the frame traveling? We said that the switch understands MAC address, or switch relies on MAC address. Router relies on what? IP address or network. How many bits is the IP version 4 address? Come on, 32. 32. Okay. How many bits is the MAC address? 48. Just you can do a little bit revision, you will refresh your information. Okay, the MAC address table. The switch will build a MAC address table. MAC address table is each port on the switch. It will learn the MAC address of the computer that is connected to it. So FA01 يعني هذا fast Ethernet switch port. Fast FA01 يعني port on the switch. There is a port. So if you look, let's see here. Come to everyone. This is a switch. Okay. Each port of the switch is called port. So this one is called FA01, FA02, FA03. Okay. All right. All right. So a switch builds a MAC address table, and the switch adds the source MAC address of the device connected to the port. And a switch forwards a frame out to a specific port when the destination MAC address is in the MAC address table of the switch. If it does not know which port, it will forward it to all the ports. خلاص? Okay? Broadcast containment. Broadcast meaning that you are sending to all the hosts in the network. The router will block broadcast. Yani if I send to all hosts in here in this room, they are all connected to one switch, so no problem, it will go. But it will not go after the router. The router will block broadcast. That's why يعني it's like border, زي الحدود, زي الgateway, زي الدور. So here, how many broadcasts here I have? How many broadcast domain? يعني if I send a message from here to everybody, one broadcast domain, right? If you don't have router, then it is all in one broadcast domain. And here, all one broadcast domain. So a broadcast message is used to contact every other devices in the local network. And Ethernet broadcast is all ones. يعني المAC address is FF, all F. Okay, this means that this is a broadcast message. Okay. Here we have a router. Each port connected to the router is one LAN, one network. So how many networks I have here? How many broadcast domains? 3. 3. That's why we call it gateway. We call the router gateway. No? Each port of the router is a broadcast domain. A broadcast domain is the area through which a broadcast message can travel. Each local network is a broadcast domain. Routers are used to divide the network into multiple broadcast domains. That's one of the advantages of routers. Access layer communication. In order to send information from a device that is on an Ethernet network, the device must supply its own source MAC address and destination MAC address. Okay? Its own IP address and as well as the destination IP address. The address resolution protocol is used to discover the MAC address of a device on the same local network. Yani if I have the IP address but I don't know what's the MAC address, I use the protocol called ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I'll stop the recording here. I'll show you one example.